Well, this when we come back, we're planning to introduce uh, protection for abortion access for those who are traveling to seek abortions. And we're doing that along with Planned Parenthood, ACLU, uh, Abortion Liberation Fund, New Voices Reproductive, Assets Matters, women, a bunch of Women Against Abuse, CHOP, and my colleague, Council Member Gim. We been considering this legislation as well around shield laws for abortion providers who say that, I'm sorry, wait. The shield laws are to protect abortion providers from taking clients from out of state. We want to make sure that people have the right to come do that in Pennsylvania. And there are a couple of us, a package of bills that we looked at that was just introduced in Pittsburgh. And we're working on mirroring some of that here in Philadelphia. And that's something we plan on doing when we come back in the fall. And then we've been ongoing with our wealth tax. We have a hearing scheduled for September 21st in City Council chambers. And, it would tax intangible personal property like stocks and bonds at a rate of 4%, which is $4 on every thousand. And it's anticipated that we could raise over $2 million a year with this. And this is, money we see as, everyone paying their fair share. And part of paying their fair share means make sure that we're able to get money back into cities' funds to be able to, support the programs that we have been advocating forever, whether it's Parks and Rec, public transit, safe public transit systems, as well as we talked about pools. All of them weren't open this summer. So this is like a long-term strategy to gain more revenue for city services and actually, reinvest back in Black and brown neighborhoods, because we've seen a divestment in those neighborhoods and we haven't seen a return, not even back to prior COVID dollars. So that's what the wealth tax kind of encompasses, and we're looking forward to that hearing. And I'm still working with this community gardens. We know that, US Bank has liens on about 100 parcels of land throughout the city. And we still continue to work with the administration and council president and community organizers and the gardeners and US Bank to find a permanent solution to all these bank liens, because the reality is like these folks have been tending to this land for generations. And we're trying to make sure that, in neighborhoods that are, highly gentrified or becoming highly gentrified, that the neighbors are able to protect the property they have tended to over years. And keep in mind, this is properties that were blighted and abandoned, and the neighbors took it upon themselves to revitalize it. And we want to make sure that they can, still have access to that land. So it's been an ongoing fight. We talked about it a lot during the budget season, and we're still in negotiations around that. And finally, seniors in housing. We realized that, we've been doing the senior in housing series since I started in council. And we're going to continue to have this seniors in housing series that we've been working on, because we realize that, our seniors are some of our most vulnerable population. And if we don't do anything to preserve the current housing crisis that they're in, we're doing a disservice to our city. And one other thing I almost forgot was our rent control. I introduced the hearing on rent control, was the first thing I introduced in council. However, we have not had a public hearing as of yet. So we're looking to reactivate that work around rent stabilization sometimes in the fall or the spring. With the pandemic underway, it's been really hard to get the community groups and everyone together to have a solid hearing. So we're planning on reactivating that, because we realize that, rents are increasing regularly. Like we have calls every day in our office about, people being displaced because of increase in rent. And we need to do something to, ensure our citizens here in Philadelphia.